Call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Shani Appleby. Here. Bruce Gage.
Here.
Nick Gunderson.
Here.
Mike Kemp.
Here.
Rich Lichtke.
Here.
Keith Majowski.
Here.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance led by Shani Appleby.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. I'll second it.
Motion made, second to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. And entertain a motion to approve the minutes of regular common council meeting of June 20th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from June 20th, 2016.
I'll second it.
Motion made, second to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting from June 20th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Citizen appearances. Frank Savoy. Frank, you got the floor.
Thank you. Feel free to stop up here if you'd like to too. Either
Okay,
way,
I can speak louder now.
good enough, thanks.
One of the good news is, I've said this before several times, that we seem to be loaning out more books and magazines than we are coming in, which is good for us because we work through the OWL system. And right now, our projection is a 4.3 difference between what we get in and what we take out. So we're very, very pleased because for some reason we have a librarian that knows what's popular and is getting it, and we have it, and we're loading an awful lot of books out. The other thing is, I did get asked a question on where we're at in terms of the library and the building, et cetera, et cetera. We're in the talking stages now. We're working with OWLs, trying to find out from OWLs where some of the areas are, what contractors we can possibly get in touch with, and then also see what the installations look like on the building. So it's a ways down the road, but we're trying to make sure we do everything the right way and do it slow and get it done. That's basically my end of it. Any questions from any of you folks?
Anybody got any questions? Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one will be the Weyauwega Lake Group. We got Jim Tolfa here first.
Yeah.
Jim.
First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity to address you, for some of you new guys here that I don't know. I'm Vice President of the Lake Association. And just to sum it up a little bit here, at one time we had 2 lake groups in this town trying to restore the lake, and now we're down to 1. And if this presentation doesn't have any impact on the council tonight, I'm afraid we're at a brick wall. We're at a dead end. As you can see, we've got a lot of algae bloom out here again, and the DNR was dragging our feet. And so was the Mark Cordes, our outfit from Stantec, that was to apply to herbicide. They didn't get the grant done in time. Now, I've been listening to that for 3 years in a row. Actually, I've been listening to it since 1972. Okay, nothing's getting done here. Now, if you guys remember, some of you older guys, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, we had a vital downtown area. There were people that came up here from Milwaukee and Chicago, and with the demise of the hotels and motels in the area, the lake died right along with it. Certainly, big box stores had a lot to do with it, putting a lot of the small businesses here out of business here, but not entirely. We seem to have a glaring lack of courage and commitment from a number of people who have the power to turn this thing around. We put in place a plan to rebuild and protect the lake. We're constantly applying for grants, having raffles, etc. But as you know, you can only go to the well so many times. Maybe some of you saw me here and turned the other way when you see me walking down the street with raffle tickets, right? So people are getting tired of buying them. We need benefactors. We need money. We're in a small town here. You can only do this so often. We're in the process of trying to form a lake district, and we need 51% of the popular opinion. I have no doubt we can secure this goal, but we need your help. You're doing a fine job with the downtown area here. People are starting to take pride in the downtown area again. As you guys know, City Hall wasn't an easy sell. We had a lot of opposition, so is this. Okay, but with your help, we can get this thing done. and we can bring our lake back to where it was. We'll come back in a couple of months. I'll give you an update on our goals, our financial report, exactly where we're at, what the herbicide people are gonna be doing, Stantec and WLR, which is who Mark Cordes is working for now. He'll be at my next meeting, and hopefully, I think Patrick signed on to be there. Hopefully, we can have our mayor there, Jack, you know, and you can get a heads up on all of this, because the guy's gonna throw his cards right out there. And, you know, it's matching funds. We ain't gonna talk about that now, okay? But we need help. You saw the weed cutter didn't work, we sold it to White Lake. That's like using a lawnmower in a hayfield, okay? We gotta do something. The community will go along with the lake will go with the community, they're relative. We gotta get this thing done, we gotta clean up around here. I see things are getting better. Let's take care of the lake, okay? Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jim. Bob, you're signed up, you wanna say something?
Just a comment that, I'm letting Jim do the major discussion today, just a comment that we want to, I will say this, we want to interact more closely with the city council from this point on. We're finding out that this project is a large project, it's a multi-year project, and it's, we take 2 steps forward and take 1 step back, and we're tenacious, we're still at it. We started this in 2008, 8 years ago, and we're still going, and we will not give up that easily. However, there's lots to be accomplished. Lake Weyauwega is actually the canary in the cage is kind of telling us what's happening upstream also. Although that's being looked at by other entity, the county itself, we need to look at this lake, and Jim hit it right on the head. We're going to need more help, we need more involvement. I'm going to leave it there today, but we'd like to give you updates periodically now.
And I have a handout for you if I can give you one. May I approach the bench?
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, too.
Thank you, Bob.
They might say we also have other things in the tank, but we'll bring that up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim, for that.
Okay,
Any questions today?
no. Anybody here want to say anything? Thanks for the information there.
All right, thanks, guys.
You bet.
All right, we'll move right along. C, Jill Weyauwega, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Jill Weyauwega, and I'm running for county clerk. First off, before I start about me, congratulations, this is an outstanding building. It's gorgeous. I was here for the community when they did the Historical Society had their Weyauwega cheese thing, and it's gorgeous, so congratulations. Currently, I work for the highway department. I have the honor of working with Bruce, but we don't get to see each other very often since he's here, he's in New London. But I'm the highway office specialist. That position has me working closely with the county board, county clerk's office, as well as a lot of the local officials. Patrick and I work together quite often. I've been there for 5 years. Prior to that, I worked at Krause Publications in Iowa for 21 years. Got to work with Angie's husband there. I've been trusted to work and have been given a lot of positions that take confidentiality, problem solving. I have over 25 years of administrative experience along with some managerial responsibilities. At one point in Krause, I had a staff of about 10 employees. I have a proven track record. I'm reliable, effective, efficient. I've been given more and more responsibilities in the positions that I've held because I'm willing to take on more. Some of the things that I do for the county that, when I started at the county, I knew nothing about county government. I never worked in government before. But because I was willing to take on more things, I got more and more responsibilities. That included the LRIP program, which is the Local Road Improvement Program. I'm the program manager for our system. We get so much for our county each year, but we can go after some statewide funding. And I'm honored to say that I helped the town of Lebanon this year get an additional $164,000 for Weyauwega County that we would have never gotten for our roads. So I'm proud of that. I've also taken a federally mandated course to help buy right-of-way for our road projects. That's saved the county about we figure, I mean, there's no stamp that says exactly what we did, but we figure it saves us about $200 to $300 per parcel by us doing it ourselves. Of course, we're not buying houses, we're buying little strips of land. The houses someone else can take care of. I don't want to have to do that. I can stand up here and I can say anything I want about myself, but what I've done instead is I have over 12 people that were willing to write endorsements for me. They've included former Krause Publications President Clifford Mishler, county board members, town chairs, city councilmen, people that I've worked with and know what I can do for you. I'd be really honored to be your county clerk, and I would work hard in that position for you. If the board doesn't mind, I do have a handout that shows my complete endorsements as well as my professional experiences. A little background on me as far as my family. I'm originally a Loken from the Weyauwega area. If the name Loken sounds familiar, I have a twin brother who is a canine officer for the sheriff's department, so many people know him. Not in a bad way, I'm sure none of you know of him in any bad way, of course. Many of the different towns and such have dealt with him. And I've been married for almost 28 years to my husband Terry, who's from Marion. We have 2 grown children. And John and I are the youngest of 6 children of Don and Jean Loken in Weyauwega. So that's all I have, unless you have questions for me. Is it okay to hand out?
Go ahead. Sure.
I'll just hand it here so that I want to take up your time. Anything else, Jack?
No, appreciate you coming. Thanks much.
And I appreciate your time. And I'll get out of your hair so you can get out of here for the night. Thank you.
We're running late anyway. All right, Jackie, fire. You're next.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Jill.
Yeah.
I'm Jackie Byer. I'm from the town of Little Wolf, where I'm the town clerk. I've been the town clerk there. I'm in my 4th term. Prior to that, I was a town board supervisor for 1 term. That's how I got started. Before that, I got started with the comp planning committee. When it started out as Smart Growth, way back when, 12 years ago already, my husband and I were asked to serve on the committee for the town of Little Wolf as farmers. And my husband is Rod Byer. He's the 5th generation on our dairy farm of Byers. So we're pretty proud of that. We have a small family dairy compared to the big ones out there. We did not expand. We just stayed exactly the way it's been forever. And we milk about 70 cows. We have 3 grown children and 2 grandchildren, which is a whole new set of fun, which you don't expect till you get there, and it's really fun. Let's see, well, after I was on planning commission, which I chaired the planning commission, and I have chaired since the beginning of it. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy working with zoning. I was also on the court planning committee for the county plan. After that, then I served on the board and was the chair for the Farmland Preservation Steering Committee until we got that adopted in the county, which a lot of farmers in my town are very happy with. And it's very good for the whole county. Since then, let's see. In the middle of all of that, I became a board member because of my town clerk position. I became a board member for the fire board for the Manawa Fire and Ambulance. And I've been their secretary for 3 years now. I just finally got someone hired in, so I resigned 2 years ago and I'm still doing it, but that's okay. It helps everybody in the area and the community, and I just can't say no. I want to make sure everybody gets the protection. They go to bed at night thinking that they're getting served with. So that's very important to me as a town clerk. And as the county clerk, it's, pretty much the same stuff on a bigger, grander scale, which I've got 8 years, almost 8 years under my belt doing already. Mary Robbins and I have talked a lot. A big part of the county clerk job is helping the town clerks, because I know myself, my first 2 terms, if I had a question, I called Mary. And she was always very kind and very helpful, graciously helpful, and teaching. And I always feel if you miss a teaching opportunity, you may not get that chance again. So I enjoy helping other people learn. I think that's about it. I've got a card to pass out if you'd like to read it.
Go ahead.
I know you guys are busy all night long with your meetings and stuff, so I don't wanna take too much more time. I grew up in New London, graduated from New London High School. I'm number 10 of 11 children. So,
Thank you.
life is always busy and I love that, so.
After 20 years at the co-op, I think I've been to your place more than once. but I got-
You probably have, so you know my husband and his father. Yeah, Rod's dad is 84 and came out today and raked and baled hay for us. He just can't stay away. So, but that's good for him, and it keeps him going,
Yeah.
so we're lucky to have him. So
Thank
if you
you.
have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Anybody got anything? No, thanks for
Thank you
coming,
for your
guys.
time.
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it.
Okay, number 6, we'll go to Public Works Committee report. Bruce?
See you guys.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Alan.
Jim?
Jim?
Recommended approval of A15 pay request number 13 from Myron Construction, $43,152.31. Contingents on the receipt of the lien waiver.
A second.
You got a motion?
Oh, did you motion? You did motion?
That's right.
Okay, I'll make a motion then to,
Oh.
approve A15, pay request number 13 to Muir.
I'll second it.
Of lien waivers.
Motion made and seconded to approve payroll A15 request number 13 to Myron. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Hey, Bruce, you wanna turn your mic around? Or use that mic? There you go.
Recommend approval of A16 change order number 2, Benton Construction, to $1,505.68 with credit.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded.
Who made the motion? He just read it, he did not make the motion.
Oh, somebody make.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do it different this time.
Motion made and seconded to approve change order number 2 with Benton Construction.
So, real quick comment on that, so the credit, because when we bid out, we bid out like unit rates. And so there's an estimated amount of material that's needed for the project. At the very end, after Cedar goes through and takes inventory on everything that they used, all the gravel, asphalt, all the materials, what they found was that we were actually owed a credit of this amount based on the actual amount. So that's what that comes into play for.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Make a motion to recommend approval of A16 pay request number 2 for the final Benton Construction for $15,970.49. Contingents on receipt of the lien waiver.
I'll second it.
Did he make that a motion?
He made the motion.
You needed a motion?
Motion made and seconded. Pay request number 2 to final for Benton Construction. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Make a motion to recommend approval of 2016 water and sewer utility budget.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve the water and sewer budget for 2016. Any questions on that one?
Just a quick note, we did have it as a separate file in the Google Drive, and as I talked about at Public Works, we're approving the 2016 budgets now to get them formally approved. We've been operating under these numbers informally through the year, but with our continuing discussions with our largest sewer and water customer in town, with their expansions, I anticipate that we'll probably amend the revenue side. So the expenses I think we're pretty good with, but it's the revenues just getting our feet underneath us with Hagen Pierce big expansion and their water and sewer needs. So for now, we feel good about these numbers. We had a little bit more detailed discussion at Public Works, but I'll leave it at that. For now, we've got the video on that, so.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Finance, Keith.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the 2017 budget schedule.
I'll second that.
Motion made second to recommend the 2017 budget schedule. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, next we have the community room kitchen dishwasher. So before I make a motion, I'll just describe why the motion is coming about. Basically, a couple things that we found out in our research for fact finding to figure out what the answer or solution was going to be was one, that the countertop has to be at 34 inches to meet the ADA standards, basically Disability Act standards. Another piece of it is Jack did some research looking into that type of dishwasher and some of the requirements with the installation there, which require that there's, or suggest strongly that there is no wood above it.
Yeah.
And also with that, Patrick did some research on the pans that would be used for senior meals if that was to come to the community center. And the larger one was the only one that would fit in properly. So with that, I'm gonna make a motion to,
I've got your motion here. So as
Yeah,
we
you
just
can help me
met
out.
with finance just before, so I did take a note, and then if that's okay.
nope, perfect.
And I'm reading your words from before. So, Mr. Nadowski did recommend that we cut the countertops as is suggested on the overhead or on your screens on the right. We'll cut that countertop out, make sure that the edges are finished in such a manner that they would be next to a stove, and ensure that the top of the dishwasher is level with the adjoining countertops. And that should be noted that there is no cost impact on the city at all. And we would be able to use the larger dishwasher, which is going to be able to accommodate every dish that the senior meal program right now needs to wash.
So I guess before I make a motion, is there any questions on it? Thoughts, concerns?
Any questions?
So that dishwasher is not supposed to have any countertop on top of it,
That's what the,
even though it's an under-the-counter dishwasher.
But it said that that is highly discouraged.
yeah.
Because of the heat.
In reading the directions, I read them a couple times today and I showed them to Patrick, that it's not recommended putting them under a countertop made of wood because of the high temperature and the steam and moisture.
All right.
And it does have a pretty, it's all stainless steel. It'll match good.
Yeah, there's just a quick note, the option on the left was researched just to like notch out just enough so that you could slide our dishwasher underneath there. But the drawing there doesn't do justice to the fact that there would be about a 1/16 of an inch left of countertop material, and that is what it sounds
The
like
heat
it
would
is.
have took care of that right away.
I had the same question, Nick, about that,
Okay.
about putting it in there. The other thing, since the meeting now, since we had, I'm thinking, you know, you're that close to the sink, you're gonna cut it out, you're gonna have water running down there, that, you know, when they're using the sink and stuff, so water's gonna damage it too, so either way, steam or water,
Mm-hmm.
because there's no way you're gonna stop that, when they're using the sink for washing and stuff, that's gonna get all wet around there, run down the sides. So one or the other, I just, to me, I think that it was built this way, it was an error, but I don't think we should be cutting the countertop open.
And just to make note that we have to clean up everything we do, so I can't leave standing water sit anywhere. Everything has to be dried and sanitized after we're done, so there would be no water going down the side or left, because those are our rules, and with everything that we have with water, we have to follow strictly.
And the other thing too is with the plumbing and everything like that, I'm open to suggestions. We've been open to suggestions since we started the discussion, 2 months ago. At this point, what we did was we looked at all the possible options that were out there. With the plumbing location, everything like that, what's the most reasonable expectation to give us the best, result? So if anybody has any other suggestions that haven't been discussed, by all means, share them.
What's the top of the?
Stainless.
Stainless steel.
Yeah,
Stainless.
yeah. So with that, I'll make a motion, as Patrick had said, for the larger dishwasher to get installed there with the countertop removed and the edges finished in the manner as we did in the committee meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay. All understand it, motion been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right. Next, I'll make a motion to approve checks 32380 through 32467 totaling $958,669.42.
Questions?
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Appleby,
Aye.
Gage,
Aye.
Gunderson,
Aye.
Kemp,
Aye.
Liskey,
Aye.
Nadowski.
Aye.
Motion carried with 6 ayes.
Thank you. Police and fire, Mike.
I make a motion to approve the Gold Cross Ambulance Service Agreement.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve Gold Cross Service Agreement. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Mike. Public Health Ordinance, Shaney.
Alright,
Mike?
Patrick's gonna add to, this, we had a meeting at 3 o'clock today, since that was the time that we could all get together and work out. So I'll give it to Patrick.
Yeah, there is no action for council, but we did talk about 3 items. I'll give a quick update because the ordinance committee did make a motion to refer one of the topics to the rec committee for further review. So what we discussed was, we did discuss the driveway width ordinance. You remember that the Hill Scotters had appealed on a driveway permit, and that was approved by the city council. The ordinance committee would like to look at the 2 standards for the ordinances that are out there. One is a certain percentage of your front yard can be paved, so like 20 to 33% of your yard, where the other percentage you would have to have grass or landscaping. Or there was also a restriction on width, so 24 feet or 30 feet. What the committee is recommending we look at is eliminating the width restriction and just sticking with the percentage of your front yard, which is not really a change, it's just taking out the width restriction. But that was to be held over till next month. The next item was related to the ordinance that prohibits people from digging public property. Specifically, it's aimed at digging up plants, trees in the public right-of-way, but more importantly and more commonly, it restricts people from using metal detectors in the parks. But what our ordinance says is, unless the recreation committee authorizes you to do so, it's not permitted. And I can tell you that we've had numerous people come into the office over the years that I've been here. They've asked if they can do it, and we've given them the answer by the ordinance, no, but you can ask the recreation committee for permission. Now, those that have been on the rec committee will know that 0 is the number of people that have come and asked for permission over that same time. But what the ordinance committee recommended to the rec committee was to, if the ordinance stays the same, outline what would be an allowable digging or activity in the park. So basically what they talked about was, should it be allowed? If it should, and if it stays with the same ordinance, well then what are the rec committee's recommendations, or what would they allow? Or if it's something that won't be allowed, should the ordinance just be changed to prohibit it altogether?
Yeah.
So what they did do is they referred it, or made a motion to refer it to the next rec committee to discuss that further.
And the things that we had talked about too is, so in other words, if we are gonna allow people to be approved to do it, defining what the criteria is. So, a hole with circumference no greater than this, no further than this depth, and the condition or state that something would have to be left in, and then the process for that. So that's what we discussed.
The only other topic that we had was the yard waste site. We talked about beefing up the ordinance a little bit to clarify what is allowed at the yard waste site. We do have it posted. It says grass, brush, leaves, residents only, but they did want to have a little bit more. And then ordinance as well as a little bit more and a penalty for maybe non-residents or those who would dump illegally. So that's something that will be brought to the next ordinance committee. Though there was an action, it wasn't anything required for council, it was more of just an intercommittee recommendation. Thank you.
Okay. Recreation Committee,
No action for council.
thank you. Public Property, Richard.
No action for council.
Planning Commission has no action for the council. We go to new business, Resolution 584, resolution changing polling place location in the city of Weyauwega.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 584, changing polling place to location in the city of Weyauwega.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to change the polling place. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. B, consider street use permit for the fire department for August 13th, 14th for the fireman's dance.
I'll make a motion to approve the street permit for the Weyauwega Area Fire Department for August 13th and 14th, 2016.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve the permit for the fire department for the street dance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Consider it Class B retailer's license for the fire department for the same date.
I'll make a motion to approve the retailer's license, Class B retailer's license for the Weyauwega Area Fire Department for August 13th and 14th, 2016.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Temporary Class B license for Weyauwega County Fair, August 25th to 28th.
Guess I'll make that motion too.
I thought you were on a roll, so.
I'm on the roll, okay. I'm gonna make a motion to approve the temporary Class B license for the Weyauwega County Fair for August 25th through the 28th, 2016.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, consider operator's license for all the below.
I'll make,
Take them all in one shot.
motion to approve all operations applicants as listed on the agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded to approve all these bartender's license. Chief, they all been checked?
Yep, the last one was the one.
All checked? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The mayor's report, I guess I don't have much to say other than I'm sure glad our dishwasher got taken care of tonight. Driving me crazy. And our landscaping out there, if anybody noticed, I see the guys are watering it quite regular every day. That looks good. Sewer plant down there is really coming up, looking really good. Some got washed out, but it's coming along good. And I find it strange that our new parking lot up there, people still park on the street rather than park in the parking lot. I don't know what the deal is with that, but anyhow, that's all I got. Administrative report. Patrick.
Just a couple of quick items. I didn't get to give a report at finance just to get here real quick, so I can be super quick here too. We are getting to the end of our construction projects. You'll notice that with the City Hall project, we haven't had pay requests for the last 2 months. Basically, where we're at is Cedar and Immel are meeting tomorrow to get a handle on the final punch list items. And if I get a handle, also get a timeline. Right now, Immel is planning on coming in here. I know some of you on council have noticed there's a little bit of flashing on some of these walls. On Wednesday, what they're going to try to do is put more texture on the wall and then paint that. Hopefully that will solve, be sort of a test wall on our painting. If that works, that's what they will do through the other areas of the building that have a little bit of flashing on them. If that doesn't work, we're going to have to be looking at maybe some serious sanding. Hopefully that won't be the case. But anyway, it sounds like the last pay request for Immel is going to be like one final pay request. And like I said, the last 2 months they haven't turned one in. With Myron, we are getting to the very end. I think we also have a meeting next week with them. The landscaping, the grass keeps washing out. I think they were even in there today trying to get that reseeded for the 4th or 5th time. So that's not the greatest, but now we're kind of like in July, trying to grow some grass, which usually isn't the best, but the weather's been okay too. Other than that, thank you for taking action on all the items you did tonight. As the mayor said, the dishwasher was a big one that's hanging out there. We are looking at the senior meals program. We're in discussions with them about potentially moving here in September. And so what you will probably see in August is a draft or maybe a final proposed contract for that service. That would be a good thing. Other than that, that's about all I've got right now.
Thanks, Patrick. Police Chief, Jerry, you got the floor.
All right, it's been quiet, nothing major to speak of as far as case goes. Our squad that hit the deer should be back in service this week. Squad that's hit the deer should be back in service this week. They're putting the decals on. As some of you, most of you know, we're having some staffing issues and we're trying to work through that as quickly as we can and hopefully resolve that in the next month or so. That's all I have.
Thanks, Jerry. Such as matters as authorized by law, anybody else got anything you want to bring up?
Just make a quick comment. Go Cross came to the Police, Fire, and Ambulance Committee meeting. Mark Frederickson and Dave Ray had come. You'll remember, I think I've mentioned here before too, that we are hosting the Ambulance Consortium next Tuesday night. It's the 26th. That's going to be here. Basically, I think there's 22 cities, towns, and villages between the town of Ellington up to the far west side of Weyauwega. Usually they have one or two representatives from each community that come to this consortium meeting. We're going to be hosting it here, and it sounds like we'll probably be the host site for the summer. They want to have 2 meetings. The winter will be at Go Cross's main headquarters. So if they can come here, that'll be a real good thing. We can show the building off, utilize the facilities. And Go Cross did say at the Police and Fire Committee meeting that anyone on the council here is welcome to attend that meeting. It's pretty broad. It's not real specific, but when they came to the Police, Fire, and Ambulance Committee, they did give us average response times this year of 7 minutes, 55 seconds. And they gave us some more specific local information. So again, that's next Tuesday. It's July 26th at 6:30 in the council chambers here.
Okay, set the meeting calendar for August. Help Becky out here.
I think we were looking at Monday, August 1st, Public Works at 6:30.
You guys changed it? Oh, it's first.
Finance and follow.
August 1st, you said?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And then we're looking at the Recreation Committee Tuesday, August 2nd.
Yeah.
With Police, Fire, and Ambulance to follow. We've got those first 2 dates. The Ordinance Committee was going to be checking their calendars after this afternoon.
August 2nd at 3 p.m. work for you guys?
August 2nd? No.
No. So we gotta, yeah, be on it. For ISO audit.
Well, we'll have to
Yeah,
get
I
back
see.
on that because that was the only day I had available right away.
Yeah, unfortunately, the full day is booked with ISO audits.
Yeah.
We'll have to get back to you guys. because
The
I don't
ribbon,
have
you
to-
guys can come join if you want. What else we got?
Uh,
Council then.
Yeah, the council is
15.
15. Plan Commission will have to get together with the citizen members. There is, I think there's 1 or maybe 2 sign permits coming through. Our old former office, they did put in an application before they put the sign up, and they put the sign up, so
I know.
we have an application. But we'll check in on that, and then also public property, I'll have to touch base with the members because we might have something to talk about with some land in the treatment plant neighborhood again. So, that'll be it.
Got them all, Beck? Okay. All right, make a motion going into closed session. pursuant to 19.85 Wisconsin statutes. Consideration of employment promotion compensation performance evaluation of any city employee who is subject to jurisdiction or authority of the council. The reason for this closed session is to discuss administrator goals for 2016. The council may choose to reconvene in open session at the completion of the closed session in order to take action from the closed session. Roll call.
No, I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Angie.
See ya.
Jordan.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded. Go in closed session.
I'll close it.
When we get close, we will.
Gunderson,
Aye.
Kemp,
Right.
Lippy,
Here.
Bilski,
Aye.
Gage,
Aye.
Appleby. Aye. Motion carried, all ayes.
7:34.